Good. This is on page 46. The second one on page 46 in this book, The Universal Prayers. From the Vedas. Om Vang me manasi pratishtita mano me vachi pratishtitam aviravir edi vedasya ma'anistha shrutam me ma prahasi anena adhitena ahoratran sandadhami Ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavato tadvaktaramavato avatu mam avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May my speech be fixed in the mind. May my mind be fixed in this speech. O self-manifested Atman, do thou manifest thyself unto me. O my mind and speech, may ye be fit to reveal unto me the highest knowledge. May I not forget what I have heard. Without forgetting what I have learned, may I be able to study day and night. The right will I speak, the truth will I speak. May Brahman protect me, may Brahman protect the preceptor. May Brahman protect me, may Brahman protect the preceptor. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This prayer is seeking strength of speech and mind, purity of speech and mind, because only through speech and mind we get all knowledge. Any knowledge, anything that we know comes to us through speech, spoken by others, we read in books, hear from our parents, and mind. Mind processes the instructions we receive and the sense organs translate them into action. So mind must be strong and pure. Speech must be strong and pure. That is the prayer. That's how, if they are pure, then we can gain knowledge. Knowledge leads us to wisdom. Wisdom leads us to experience. That's a very nice, interesting prayer. Let us now continue from where we left last time. We are studying verses 7 to 11, that very important part of the 13th chapter. In these 5 shlokas, 7 to 11, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has given 19 or 20 signs of self-knowledge. Jnanam is knowledge. These are virtues or qualities which bring us self-knowledge if we practice them. So they are also called knowledge, means of knowledge and knowledge. See, the last one we studied was shloka number 8, second line. Janma vrityo jara vyadi dukkha doshadu darshanam. As we have known from earlier studies, life is a mixture for all human beings, for animals and plants too. It's a mixture. Nobody has always only happiness. Nobody has always only unhappiness. It's a mixture of good and bad. That's known, very well known from experience. And no matter how hard we try, we cannot prevent all unhappiness and have only happiness. That's not going to happen. We can't even try. It is when Ramana Maharshi used to stay alone in the hill, on the top of the hill in a cave. Nobody knew where he was. His relatives were searching for him. The boy disappeared, teenager. Finally, somebody found him there. And his mother, Ramana Maharshi's mother went to that hill, top of the hill where the boy was staying, and cried, "Oh son, please come back for home. You can do all the meditation you want there." He was observing silence. He didn't say anything. She went on crying and praying, requesting him to return home. She didn't do anything. So he took a piece of paper and with a charcoal piece, he wrote in, I think he wrote in Tamil. He wrote, "Whatever is destined to happen will happen. No matter how hard we try, we can prevent it." And that is what, still just the summary of what he wrote. And she read it and he didn't reply, he didn't talk. Finally, she went home. And afterwards, later, she came back and stayed with him during last years. He took care of her very nicely, granted her liberation. But the reply that he gave when his mother was crying and asking him to go back home, return home, was this: nobody can prevent any event, good or bad, that is destined to happen. Destiny means prarabdha karma, the result of past actions that you did, good and bad both. Prarabdha can be good also. That is bearing fruit now. So good will happen, bad will happen. You can't do much change there. That is how we should learn to practice equanimity under all circumstances. This practice of equanimity has come many times in the Gita. Samam sarveshu sukha dukkhe same kritva labho jaya jayau. 238, like that. 520, na prahrushyet priyam prapya no dvijet prapya cha priyam sthira buddhyara sammodo brahmvid brahmani sthitaha. Like this, many places Sri Krishna has talked about practicing equanimity in good and bad, pain and pleasure, loss and gain, and everything. That is janma mrityu jaravadi dukkha dosha darshanam. If you frequently reflect on the inevitable sufferings in human life, then it becomes easy to face and accept adversity. You should not expect that we will always be happy. That's not going to happen. Some difficulty will come, some pain will come. If nothing, death will come. It's going to happen. We have to be ready for it. You have to face it. And we have to remain calm. Simply complaining and grieving and talking about it and feeling bad is not going to change anything. It will only make it worse. Let us remain as calm as possible in unfavorable circumstances. When something good happens, you have no problem. We don't complain why everything is so good. But also, then also it's possible to become arrogant and expect it will continue like that. It may be everything is maybe good today, but there's no guarantee tomorrow the same thing will be good. So anything, any moment in the twinkling of an eye, things can change. So those who have life experience, they know this one. Younger people may always assume everything will be fine. That will change with time. Janma mrityu, janma means the pain involved in birth. Dukkha. You don't remember it. Fortunately, it is a painful experience for both the child and the mother. Mrityu, inevitable, death will come. Death itself may not be a bad thing, but the suffering that happens before death, disability, long-term disability, dependence, all those things will come. Jara means old age will come. Vyadi means disease. The body is called Sharira. Shariram for one reason. Shiryate iti shariram. Shiritam, that which perishes, disintegrates, deteriorates, disintegrates, and perishes. That is Sharira. It's the nature of all bodies. Not only human bodies, any body you take, even earth also. Sun, moon, everything, trees, plants, everything will disintegrate and go away. So that is inevitable. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. All this cause dukkha. Dukkha dosha anudarshanam. The defect of all these things causing dukkha, suffering, is inevitable. For some it is more, for some it is less. For some it comes later, for some it comes sooner. That is, changes are there. But these four things are common. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Everybody has to face these things. So by dwelling on this in a realistic way, we have to realize that these are inevitable and be prepared to face them calmly when they come, when they happen to us. That is the instruction. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. This very last time. Now we go to the next one. Shloka number 9. Dear Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Asaktirana Vishwangaha Putra Dara Grithadishu Nityam Cha Samachittatvam Ishta Nishta Papattishu. Same Samachittatva come again. Asakti and Abhishwanga. We can treat them as two separate disciplines, or we can treat them as one. Asakti means not becoming attached to things, good and bad. Not taking too much, having too much attachment to anything, including our body, mind, our ideas, our thought, our property, possessions, our family, children, job. All these things we have to have them. We can't give up them when you need them. We need them, but we have to be prepared for the moment when they depart from us. They will. Or all of them may be there, I may have to depart. Or I may be there, one of them they will, or many of them will go away. At once or in stages. That's going to happen. Separation is inevitable. So we have to be ready for that moment. If you are too much attached, assume that you will always be there, always give us happiness, that's not going to work. Even if things are good, sometimes the same things that are good, sometimes they become sources of trouble at some other time, that we know from experience. So we should not be attached to any of these things. Asakti, non-attachment. To what? Putra dara grahadishu. Putra means son or children, progeny in general, grandchildren also. Dara means wife or husband, spouse. Graha means house or other property, money, house, car, all these things. Adishu, in all these things, we should practice detachment, one instruction. It has come throughout the Gita. Detachment is the essence. So one lesson of Gita is detachment. As Sri Ramakrishna said, the teaching of Gita is only in one word. Gita, Gita, Gita. If you repeat, becomes Tagi, Tagi, Tagi. Which means when one who renounces. That's the essence of Gita. In one word, if you ask me to say, summarize what is the teaching of Gita, that word is non-attachment. That's it. The rest of it is all details and explanations. Non-attachment. Anabhishwangaha. Anabhishwangaha means non-identification with all these things. Some people, it's a higher level of attachment, deeper attachment, Abhishwanga. Anabhishwanga means absence of deeper attachment. Deeper attachment means what? Some people identify themselves with the object of their attachment. For example, their child or someone dear to them. If something bad happens to that other being to whom we are attached, it seems that it's happening to me. I suffer when my dearest object, person or whatever suffers. So close attachment, deep attachment, that causes even greater pain. There is a parable in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna about a farmer, and he used to do farming, make some money. The family has one child. So one day he went to sleep as usual at night after working long hours in the field. And he had a dream that night. In the dream, he was a king. In real life, he was a farmer. But in dream, we can become anything in dream. So he became a king and he had 7 sons, princes. All very handsome, good looking, beautiful. Then one of them died in the dream. So he was crying. Then he woke up and went to work in the field next morning. When he was in the field, somebody brought him bad news. His son, only son he had in waking state. That son was sick and he died. So somebody, messenger, brought that bad news to the man who was farmer working in the field. Then he went home. The son was dead. But he remained quiet. He didn't start crying. Generally, people cry when their child dies. Very, very sad event. Saddest event for a parent is for the child to pass away. How much, very, very deep, sorrowful event. But he didn't react at all. Then people asked him, what is wrong with you? Your son is dead. You are not showing any grief. You are not crying. Then he said, I don't know whether I should cry for this one son who has died, or last night was a king, I had 7 sons, one of them died. Should I cry for that son, my prince, my son, I was a king for him, or should I cry for him? It's all, which is true, I don't know. So waking state is also like it. So by thinking like this waking state is also like a dream. That's one theory. It's not always going to be there. In the waking state, only you experience the waking state, this world. You don't experience this world in dream, different world, different people come, different things happen. You don't experience this world in deep state, nothing. Only when we are awake, we experience this world. Into samadhi, turiya, no world is there. Nothing, no I, no you, no family, no children, only pure consciousness. So which is true? That which always is present is true. Always that is present is our Turiya Avastha. Even now we are in Turiya Avastha. So supposed to be waking state. So that is the truth. Vedanta says. You are not what you think you are in the waking state. You are not what you think you are in the dream state. You are nobody in the dreamless deep sleep state. In Turiya, your personality, body, mind, nothing is there. Only pure consciousness, Atman is there. You are that. So if you reflect like that on our true nature, our attachment to waking state things will become less. Then it's temporary nature we realize. One day or other it is going to go away. The dream will end. It may be a long dream for some people, short dream for some people is going to end. This waking state is also going to end sooner or later. So I should not become too much attached to it because it will cause pain. More attachment, more pain when separation comes. So that distancing ourselves, but still have to serve them, take care of them, do their duty. We should not neglect. If you have a job, we should do it nicely, diligently. If you have a family, we should take care of the family very nicely, lovingly. If we have a house, we should take care of it very nicely, keep it in good condition. Whatever we have, body we have, we take good care of it, keep in good condition. All that we have to do. At the same time, we should be ready for separation of any of these at any moment. That is the message we have to take from this one. Asakirana Vishwangaha Putradar Grahadishu. Why become attached? They sometimes bring happiness. Children bring happiness, so we become attached to them, we love them. That is inevitable. Attachment will come. Anabhishvanga means absence of very deep attachment, identification with all these things: body, children, grandchildren, spouse, husband or wife, house, property, and other things. They are there and they are not always going to be there. Even when they are there, sometimes they give happiness. The same thing that give happiness, bring an happiness next day. We don't know how it will change. That is practice of detachment. In that is called anabhishvangaha. So, in the Song of Sannyasin, the Song of Sannyasin is a very staunch Advaitic Vedantic hymn. It's difficult for us to follow, even for sannyasis. It's meant for sannyasis. But if we study that, periodically chant it, our mind will become ready for renunciation. So I'll chant 2 verses from this Song of Sannyasin, which Swamiji composed in 1895 in Thousand Island Park. They know not truth who dream such vacant dreams, as father, mother, children, wife, and friend. The sexless self, whose father he, whose child, whose friend, whose foe is he who is but one. The self is all in all, none else exists, and thou art that sannyasin bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Truth never comes where lust and fame and greed of gain reside. No man who thinks of woman as his wife can ever perfect be, nor he who owns the least of things, nor he whom anger chains, can ever pass through Maya's gates. So give this up, sannyasin bold, say Om Tat Sat Om. These things on whom we depend much for happiness, family, job, children, husband, wife, money, job, property, etc., they are not permanent. They're only in the waking state. In the deep sleep and in samadhi, only God. Not even me. I also won't be there in samadhi. Only Lord remains, Swami Brahman remains. That is the truth. That is the truth. This is temporary appearance, so we should not become attached to it. There's a very nice famous song in the gospel with Swami Vivekananda. Then he was known as Narendra. He sang for Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, after hearing this song, went into samadhi. The song begins, let us go back to our own abode, O mind. Mano chalo nije niketane. This niketane means own house. This is this house where we live in now, this world in which we live now, this is not our true abode. It's not our real abode. It's a temporary place where we have come to work out our karma, to satisfy our desires and things like that. We are not going to be here one day longer than we are destined to be here by prarabdha. We have to go back. Where do we go back? Which is our true abode? God is our true abode. Taddhama paramam mama. Yadgatva nanivartante taddhama paramam mama. That true abode from where we came, where we have to go, that's our destination. This is not our destination. It's just like a short stop in our journey. Just like if you're traveling, those earlier days when people were traveling on foot, at night they would stay in some dharmashala, some chatra, some inn. The next morning you have to continue. That is only for one night. Sleep there, get some rest, and then next morning continue. This is like an Indian. This world is like a musafir khana. Musafir khana in Hindi means inn, travelers inn. ये दुनिया है मुसाफिर खाना, ये दुनिया है मुसाफिर खाना, ना कोई संगी साथी तेरा, ना कोई माल खजाना, ये दुनिया है मुसाफिर खाना. Some segment of a song I heard. This world is not our true abode. This Musafir Khana is in. We are staying here for a short time, break journey, work out our karma, rest our desires, and then we have to leave. When the time comes, we have to leave this inn. Can't stay here. Where do we go? Our true abode. In this Musafir Khana, na koi sangi sathi mera. There is no sangi. No other people who may think we are very close to them. They are very close to me. Husband, wife, children. No. Sathi, there is no companion. Na koi mal khazana. All the property. Mal khazana means money. Khazana means treasury. We think it is mine. They are going to be with us. Forget about it. Then, of course, that is real. That is true renunciation. That is true detachment. Thinking like that, we have to develop detachment. All this dream like my father, my mother, my children, my wife, my friend, only for a few days, for a short time, not permanent. It looks like a very negative philosophy, but that is the truth. For some time they give happiness. Yes, when they are there, we have to accept that one. We should take good care of them, love them, serve them, seeing God in them. But we know this relationship, no relationship is permanent. With other people, animals, plants, things, property, everything, separation will come. That is the reflection. We have to reflect on these things. Vedanta is reflection. Then Shankaracharya says in a famous Bhagavad Gita stotram, Kastvam koham kuta ayatah kame janani ko me tataha iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. Very beautiful hymn. Chanting this will change our thinking, purify our mind. He says, Shankara says, you should ask our question, Kastvam, who are you? Koham, who am I? You and I are only in dream. Samadhi, no, you know, I only Brahma. Kastvam koham kutayata. From where did we come? Kame janani ko me tataha. Who is my mother? Who is my father? All dream-like relationships. Iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram. In this way, reflect on everything as asaram, essenceless. For time being, they seem to make sense, make everything appear so real. We can't dispute the reality of the world. But then it is not real because it will go away, not permanent. And it changes in between. So as long as it is with us, everything changes. Vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. This Vishwam, this world in which we think we are living, we are a part of the world. This country and our motherland and our job and money, children, everything, Vishwam, asaram, sapna vicharam. This is like a dream. Sapna means, if you reflect on this temporary nature of everything, changing nature of everything, then it will be easy for us to practice detachment. Asaktirana vishwangaha putradara grahadishu. Then next instruction. This is sloka number 9, second line. Verse sloka number 9. Asaktirama vishwangaha putradara grahadishu nityam cha samachitatvam ishta nishtopapattishu. Very important instruction, does come several times, familiar to you. Samachitatvam, equanimity of mind. In ishta anishta papattishu. Ishta means something pleasant that we like. Anishta means something that we don't like, unpleasant, disagreeable experience. In any field of life, they come and go. They alternate. Sometimes they both come together. Ishta anishta upapatti. Upapatti means when they accrue to us, when they happen to us. Samachitatvam, same sightedness, same equanimity of mind. Sukha comes, don't be too much depressed, don't become angry, don't become dejected, blame other people. Yes. Let me bear this calmly, nicely. Before that comes, let us take preventive measures, as we saw before, to prevent anything unpleasant. And if it comes, in spite of taking preventive measures, let us take remedial measures. Try to remedy as much as possible. Even after taking remedial measures, the problem still remains. Then what's the third thing we have to do? Practice deeksha, forbearance. How to practice forbearance? Chinta vilapa rahitam apratikara purvakam. Shankaracharya says in Vivekananda. Not taking revenge. Pratikara means revenge. Who caused me this? I'm going to get even. That won't work. Will be enormously complicating the problem. We are not the judge. We are not the people who give punishment to others. There is somebody higher above authority. He will take care of it. Problem comes through somebody. Or the bhautika tapa, to other animals and plants also cause problem. Some agency has to be there for problem to come to us, but we should not blame the agent. They're only the agents, instruments. Real cause is myself. I have done something to warrant that one. No use killing the messenger if he brings bad news. So don't leave them alone. They are playing their part in our life. Thank them. But you have to bear whatever cannot be prevented, whatever cannot be remedied. You have to bear calmly without complaining, without lamenting, vilaparahitam, chintarahitam, without brooding and becoming too much anxious and becoming rejected and depressed. No need. We have to bear it. Good and bad both will come. Samsara bhagyas pankiriva charati samsara chakram. Samsara chakram, the cycle of life. Samsara chakra, like a wheel of a chariot, goes up and down. Sometimes it's on the top, sometimes it's on the bottom. That's the nature of everybody's life. So, nityam cha samachittatvam, this has come many times before. Sukhadukkhe samekratva, etc. So, familiar to us. Unfailing equanimity in circumstances, pleasant and unpleasant. In this world, we should not expect that we always will be happy. Good things will happen. Because the Lord himself, Bhagavan himself who created this world, has repeatedly told in the scriptures, in the Gita, that in this world there is no true happiness. He knows more about the world than any of us can ever know about this world. He himself who made this world, runs this world. He says this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. In the 8th and 9th chapter, chapter 8, sloka 15, chapter 9, sloka 33. In both places, 8:15, 9:33. Bhagavan is saying that this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkha means suffering, misery. Alaya means house. This is a house of misery. Who says? The Lord says. He knows about this world. He created this world. He runs this world. And if you expect happiness in dukkhalaya, you'll be disappointed. If it comes, thank you for making me happy, bringing me good things. As long as they're there, I'll use them, thank them, take good care of them when they leave. Thank you very much for letting me have it for so long. Detachment. Ashashvatam. Everything is impermanent. Shashvatam means permanent. Everything is impermanent. Can you think of one thing that's always going to be there? Nothing. Even in Himalaya mountain, it is not always going to be there. It will stay for a long time. When the earth also will not be there always. 4.6 billion years ago, earth came into existence, and in another 2-3 billion years, I don't know how long it will live, then it will go. Sun also goes. Nothing is permanent. Ashashvatam, dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Then in the 9th chapter, sloka 33, Bhagavan says very clearly, anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. He gives a solution also. We have ended up in this world, which is anitya asukha. Anitya means impermanent, temporary. Everything, the world itself changes, everything changes, we change, we come and go. Everything comes and goes. Nothing is permanent. Anityam asukham. No sukha here. And if you try to find sukha here, the Lord himself said there is no sukha, you are going to be disappointed. If sukha comes, we are thankful, we are happy, we keep them, we enjoy, but we are ready. Separation will come. Also, anitya, it's not permanent. Anityam asakam lokam imam lokam prapya, having come into this world, why we have come, we don't clearly know. Prarabdha, we can say, we have to work out our desires, we have to work out our karma, so we are here. Whatever reason, whatever be the reason why we are here. And we have to leave. It is not our permanent place. We have to go back to our own abode, which is the Lord, the kingdom of heaven, the Lord's feet. That's where we belong. That's where we have to go, be with Him. Vaishnavas say we have to go to Vaikuntha and stay with Sri Vishnu, doing Kankarya, Seva. Shaivas believe they have to go to Kailasa, stay with Shiva, and do his service. So like that, whatever is our belief, we have to leave this place and go back to a permanent abode. As long as we are here, we do our duties, take care of the things we have. They are ready for separation. To call him Anityamasagam Loka Imam Prapya. What is to be done? Solution is given in the same 933. Very simple solution. What is to be done? Mam Bhajasva Anityamasakam Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajasva Mam. Having come to this world which is temporary, full of misery, pray to me, Mam Bhajasva, pray to God. Only thing is we have to pray to God. Do our duties as well as we can with love, dedicating everything, all our actions to God, and then worship God. But anyway, we can worship. Worship means many different kinds of worship, not only ritualistic worship. Thinking about God constantly, as Brother Lawrence did, in the midst of all our activities. Repeating God's name as Sri Ramakrishna said. Smaranam, as Prahlada said, constantly remembering God, keeping God in your mind. Somehow remaining in touch with God all the time. That way we have to pray to God. That is the solution to this problem of this life. To call him Ashwasvata, Imam Prapya Bhajasvama. Then, so we did all of this before. Many times, this Samachitatvam has come before. I'll give just 2 or 3 references because you have to review old slokas. You can't forget them. So, just for review, you can do a review at your own time. I'll just give the references. 2nd chapter, sloka number 56. Just note down the numbers and then study at your own time. All this we have studied before. Describing Sita Prajna Lakshana, 2nd chapter. There Bhagavan says, Dukkeshvana Vignamana Sukheshu Vigataspraha Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Stitadir Muniruchate. In Sukheshu Vignamana, when Sukha comes, not being too much exalted. When Dukkeshu Vignamana, when Dukkha comes, not too much perturbed, remaining calm. Sukheshu Vigataspraha. When Sukha comes, then also we should remain calm, tone down our expectations. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. That is 256. Next sloka, 257. Yes sarvatra nabhisnehas tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratisthita. Sarvatra, under all circumstances, good and bad, anabhisneha, remaining unattached. Shubha-shubham prapya, good things happen, bad things come. We remain unattached to either. Nabhinandati nadveshti. When sukha comes, we don't praise or we don't become exalted and too much celebration. When dukkha comes, nadveshti, we don't hate it. Everything is welcome. Good welcome, bad welcome. Good leaves, bad leaves. Thank you for being with me. Then 19th sloka and 12th chapter. All of this we did before, just for review. There Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, When some people praise us, some people blame us, no matter what you do. That's the nature of the world. So he says, 12:19, Tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa sthiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Ninda means blame. People blame us. Stuti means praise. People praise. No matter, same people who blame us yesterday, today they may praise. Same people who praise us today, they may blame tomorrow. That's the nature of the world. We can't do anything about it. So we should not react too much either way. Aniketa, not being attached to any one particular place of residence. My house, we can say, as maid servant says, my Rama, my Hari, my house, my kitchen, my garden. But what is mine? Nobody, nothing is mine. We say this my house, my child, my property, my job. That's not true. So only for vyavahara, for transaction, we may say mine. But inwardly, we should know nothing belongs to me. I didn't bring anything. I'm not going to take anything. This is temporary association with these things. It will end. They came to me because I wanted them. Nothing comes to us. Property, house, money, wife, husband, children. Nothing comes to us except as we have courted them. We wanted them. That's why they come. If we don't want, these things will not come. Desire was there to have all these things. So that there now is materialized. So we have to take good care of them. We invited them to our life. As long as they are there, take good care of them, love them, see God in them, serve them. And when they leave, or when I have to leave them, they are there. Thank you for being with me for the association. I have done my duty. I'm free now. Ready to go to the next stage, to our own ego. That is practice of detachment. And chapter 5, verse 20. Again, equanimity. Na pravrushyet priyam prapya nodvijet prapya cha priyam sthira buddhirasam mudo brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. So I have done a thought enough about equanimity, samachittatva. Now we go to next sloka, number 10. Very interesting, very important sloka to be practiced. It's all for practice. Not that much theory, philosophy, practice. Things we have to do every day. Sloka number 10. Maichananya yogena bhakti ravya vicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratirjana samsadi. Very interesting words, important instructions. Mai means in me. Ananya yogena. Ananya means no other source of support, no other refuge. Only God is the only refuge. We take refuge in other things, in property, money, power, position. I'm the CEO. Nobody can touch me. I can do whatever I want. Only for some time. It will change next moment. Ananya yoga, without any other support or dependence, depending only on God. God is our only refuge, ultimate refuge, unfailing refuge. All other things will fail. If you depend upon money, property, and I'm a rich man, I can get away with everything, but won't work. With daily newspaper, you can see so many people are the rich people doing whatever they want to and get caught and end up in jail. But won't work. Money is not our refuge. It won't save us. It's necessary for necessities, but it won't save us. Only thing which saves us from trouble, gives us comfort and lasting, permanent comfort, refuge is God. Once we reach Him, there's no way to return into domain of ignorance or suffering. Yad gatva nanivartante taddhama param mama. That abode by reaching which ones will never return to the place of suffering. Freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Permanent residence in God's house. Vaikuntha, kingdom of God, or Kailas, or whatever, Ramakrishna Loka. Once we go there, go. The Mai Chananya Yogena Bhakti Avya Vicharani Bhakti. That comes later again in the 14th chapter. Actually, the word abhichara means infidelity in ordinary conversation. Infidelity in marriage. That means we should be faithful to the beloved person. That's the gist of marriage, essence of marriage, faithfulness, truthfulness. In the same way, we should have 100% faith in God, accepting God as our permanent and only refuge. All other things which we take for granted, in which we take refuge, they are going to let us down sooner or later. In the famous Bhakti Sutras, devotional aphorisms of Narada, Narada says, Anya Shrayanam Tyagaha. A devotee should give up dependence on all other sources of support. Ordinary people look for support in other things, money, property, position. I'm the president, I can get away with anything. That's not going to work. Position, power, money, they will support for some time. You can buy many things with money, but you cannot buy peace of mind from money. The richest people have died in the prison. Every day you see newspaper, lot of money, billionaires. They thought they can do anything and get away with it. No, law of karma will come and catch up. They can prevent deceive the police and get away, but you can't deceive the chief police officer about the karma. He'll come back and catch up with us sooner or later. So we have to take refuge only in God, unfailing refuge. That is taking refuge only in God, who never lets us down. Other things will let us down. Friends will let us down. We may lose our position, and all our power, authority, money, everything will not come to our rescue. Eventually suffering will come. But if we take refuge in God, accept Him as our only refuge and stay with Him, pray to Him, hold on to His feet firmly. Don't leave His feet. Hold on to His feet. Oh Lord, I'm not going to leave your feet, no matter what you do. Like that, we have to stick to the Lord. There's a story in the Brahmanda Purana. And there is Brahmanda Purana, there is a section called Lalita Upakhyanam, Divine Mother Lalita's glory. Lalita Sahasranama, everything comes there. There was a great sage, Hayagriva Rishi. Hayagriva means, Griva means neck. Haya means horse neck, something like that. And there was a disciple, Agastya. Agastya Rishi himself was a great Rishi. He went to Hayagriva Rishi in Brahmanda Purana story. I'm saying this because we have to hold on to God's feet firmly, not leave that one. So Agastya went and prayed to Hayagriva, please teach me about Lalita Parameshwari, Divine Mother Lalita Parameshwari, like Durga, Kali, etc., Lalita Parameshwari. Benign aspect, loving aspect, beautiful aspect, Tripura Sundari. So Hayagriva Rishi found out this Agastya was himself a great holy man. So I taught him Lalita Sahasranama, 1000 names of Lalita to keep chanted every day. Beautiful hymn, Lalita Sahasranama. If you chant it once, you feel like chanting it again. Addictive, beautiful names. Every name is so loving, describing glory of Lalita Devi. So he chanted, Hayagriva chanted, I taught it to Agastya. Then Agastya was satisfied, he went away, chanting Lalita Sahasranama. But after some time, Agastya got this feeling, nagging feeling. No, this is not all. There's more glory that Hayagriva has not taught me. He's holding something back. The glory of Lalita Parameshwari is so infinite. There is something more about her, our glory, that Hayagriva is not teaching me. So he went back to Hayagriva. Agastya went back. Agastya says, sir, you taught me Lalita Sahasranama is very beautiful, nice, thank you for everything. But something else is there about Lalita Devi, Lalita Parameshwari, her glories, that you have to teach me. Hayagriva says, I have taught everything I know, there's nothing more to teach. What else is there? Lalita Sahasranama is the ultimate stotra. We chanted, it'll be okay. No, Agastya said, no, something else. You are hiding something. Something else is there, you have to teach. Hayagriva kept on saying, there is nothing to teach. Then Agastya held on to Hayagriva's feet. As Kalipada Ghosh held on to Sri Ramakrishna's feet in the boat, you remember that one? Agastya held on to Hayagriva's feet. Hayagriva kept saying, I don't have anything to teach. Agastya said, no, you have to teach. Something more is there. You are not telling me everything. So Hayagriva did not know what to do. 3 years went on like this, day and night. Hayagriva would not leave, Agastya would not leave Hayagriva's feet. How long can you wait? So Hayagriva prayed to Divine Mother Lalita, what to do, Amma? This man is not leaving my feet 3 years. He is not letting me move. What should I do? Lalita says, Parameshwari says, all that, teach him Trishati, Lalita Trishati, 300 names, more powerful, contains the gist of Sri Vidya. So Hayagriva then teaches 300 names, Lalita Trishati, to Agastya. Then Agastya was pleased, then he leaves his feet and let Hayagriva go. Same thing Kalipada Ghosh did to Sri Ramakrishna in the boat. He held on to his feet, told the boatman to not go anywhere in the middle of the river, and would not leave Sri Ramakrishna's feet. Sri Ramakrishna had done everything already, had given his mantra, everything. But Kalipada says, no, you have to bless me. What more blessing can I give you? I've done everything, promised everything. No, not enough. Kalipada would not leave Sri Ramakrishna's feet. So finally, Sri Ramakrishna said, what more do you want? Then Kalipada says, sir, I have done so many sins. Kalipada says to Sri Ramakrishna. Latu was there also. So many sins I have done. When the time of my death comes, you probably won't be there. And I will be immersed in total darkness. I would not know what to do, where to go. At that moment, you should come holding a lamp in your left hand and holding me in your right hand, my hand. Holding my hand in your right hand. And lead me further. If you promise that you will do that, I will leave your feet. Sri Ramakrishna had no choice. How long is he going to stay there in the middle of the river in the boat? All that. Yeah, I will do that. I will do that. Sri Ramakrishna promised. I'll come to you. I'll lead you on. I'll hold your lamp. I'll hold you with my right hand. I will lead you further. Don't worry. Leave my feet now. So like that, Avyabhicharani Bhakti means we have to hold on to God's feet. Under all circumstances, when you are happy, when you are unhappy, when you are suffering, when you are enjoying, hold on to God's feet. No other support. Nothing else will save. Nobody else will save us. When the real trouble comes, God will save us. Holding on to God's feet as the only refuge, final refuge, unfailing refuge, that is Avyabhicharani. No other refuge. Anyastrayanam tyagaha. Ashraya means refuge, money, etc. They won't save us. Maisha ananya yogena bhaktiravyabhicharini. The next instruction, which is also very familiar, common, so many times it has come. Vivekananda sevitvam aratir jana samsadi. This comes in the 6th chapter also. Ekaki rahasi sthitaha. In seclusion, we have to pray to God, not in public. Letting everybody know I am praying to God. In the Bible, there's a very nice statement in the Holy Bible that the Lord says, when you pray to me, pray in the closet in secret. The Lord will reward you in the open. Nobody need know that we are praying, doing japa, etc. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, pray in solitude. No need for publicity. Vivekananda Saivitvam. Resorting to solitary places, solitude. Many times in the Gita, in the Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna talks about praying in solitude. That we know. So Vivekananda Saivitvam, resorting to solitary places for prayer in solitude. No need to show other people how much worship I am doing, how much japa I am doing, holding on that to Rudraksha, Japamala, rosary always in the hand. Not necessary privately. Swami Adbhutanand used to pray, do japa in private all the time, even at night, because Sri Ramakrishna told him, rebuked him, why you are sleeping in the evening when we are supposed to pray. Once when he was young, Lord was young, that was enough. He said, I'm not going to sleep. All the time he used to do japa when other people were sleeping. So one day what happened, there was a discussion about Latu's japa. There was one Swami, I think it was Swami Brahmarupananda, I don't remember, on one devotee they were talking. Latu was sleeping, covering his whole body with a sheet, head to foot. Everybody thought he's sleeping. But Swami said, no, he's not sleeping, he's doing japa. So they noticed that when they slightly removed the sheet, with tears in his eyes, Latu Maharaj was doing japa like this. In secret, everybody thought he was sleeping. That's how we should pray. No other person need know how much or what prayer we are doing. Viviktadesha sevitam, prayer in solitude. Next verse, the next instruction. Aratir Jana Samsadi. Jana Samsad means, Jana means people, Samsad means congregation. Huge crowds of people. Arati. Arati means enjoyment. Arati means no enjoyment, no delight in crowds. That's why people used to go away for Vanaprastha into the forest earlier days. Now it's not practical. Earlier days, they would leave the family, home, everything, retire from job, children, grandchildren, take care of themselves. They would go to the forest hermitage and stay there, husband, wife, and spend all their time in prayer, away from far from the madding crowd, as Thomas Hardy would say. That's how it used to be. Now we can do that in a different way, modified way. Solitude. Every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever you can afford. Your personal time, nobody, no phone call, no texting, no messaging, nothing. No food, nothing. No conversation. Your time. Like that, we should set aside some time every day, depending on your circumstances. Retired people can spend more time. Working people don't have that much time, at least a few minutes every day. They have to do at least once a day. Twice a day is better. Viviktadesha sevittam aratir jana samsadi. If you go to very crowded places, then it is not good for us. All their thoughts, different kinds of worldly thoughts will come and impinge on our mind. We will be affected by the people with whom we are surrounded. So we should not go to the crowded places. What happened in Houston last month? Astro World, some rap music was going on, concert. 10 people died. They all rushed to the same place. And this was not free. Regular ticket was $99. But the scalpers used to sell it for $999. Some people made money. Other people lost money and lost their lives also. Why to go to such big crowds? Stampede. No need. Nowadays, you can do everything on the Zoom in your own room. You can watch everything on the computer. They all went there. 50,000 people, mostly young people. 10 of them died. Many were injured. These injuries were permanent, long-term disability injury. Should not be done. But congregation of devotees is good. Congregation prayer is good. Devotees come here and go to other temples to pray together. That is good because everybody is thinking only about God. We meet here only to think about God. Otherwise, people don't come here. This is a place of worship meditation. That congregation is good. There's an effect of synergy. We all enrich each other's effort, support, reinforce. That is good. That congregation is good. In some parts of India, they do Akhand Ramayana part. 24 hours, they group chanting Ramayana. They take turns. Tulsi Ramayana generally. They finish whole Ramayana in 24 hours or longer, then the program ends non-stop chanting. Bhagavad Saptah, 7 days they do discourse on Bhagavata. Like that one. And many people do whole night prayer. for Durga in North India. Whole night, non-stop prayer. Those things are good. Otherwise, prayer in solitude, ekaki, alone, that is good. But going to all kinds of crowds, in India also this happens. Even in holy places, this happens. They go to some place of pilgrimage, small place, lot of people go there to worship God. Then what happens? So many people, large population, everybody wants to worship God in the same place at the same time. Stampede will happen, people will die. This happened so many times. So that's not good. Pravikta Desha Sevitvam Aratirjana Samsadi, not taking delight in huge assemblies, gatherings of people, especially for worldly purposes like rap music. I don't even know what the rap music is. Never heard. So that is not good. Prayer in solitude. Ekaki, Hayam, Ekaki, Rahasistitaha, 6th chapter, Sri Krishna says. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, resorting to solitary places, Aratirjana Samsadi, and aversion to large crowds of people, because all their thoughts will come and influence our mind. Not good for us. So we will stop there and say the closing prayer. Let me say closing prayer, then we can have question answer. Om Sarve Bhavanta Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from suffering, such as diseases and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble and auspicious. May no one be subject to misery. Om, peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings, and may there be peace everywhere in nature. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Now we can have some time for questions, discussion. If you have any comments, something to add, they'll be welcome.
Swamiji, I have some question.
Yes, Pradeep, my namaskar.
In the Gita and all Vedantic literature, and I do read little bit, and I'm also initiated.
Very good.
See, the problem is that we are living in the world, and there are many worldly people around us. Okay. Now they sometimes, or maybe most of the time, they try to tell us, if we say that I am really not after money, I am happy with whatever I have, and I want to have an honest life and everything, but they kind of ridicule people like us. Many people ridicule us. Oh, you are just passive people. You are not active. You are not enjoying. You are not making more money. You are not going to vacation to Europe or Alaska's cruise and things like that. You are missing everything. So how do we deal with that? I know internally, I don't care much about what they say, but then we do live in a society. There are friends and other people who all the time brag, or many times they brag about their money and they are doing so much things. And they say, well, if you have money, then you can also donate, which is correct. Okay, so which is correct, yes. If you say Bill Gates can donate a lot of money, if they and they do. So there are philanthropists, rich people, some philanthropists also, but very few. So the question is, how do I be calm and say that no, what I am doing as sthita pragya is something which at least I internally like to go as much as possible. As much as possible, try to have the Shama Bhav. Okay. And I like this, that, okay, when something good happens, I don't have to be too much elated. I don't have to tell the world, oh, I have achieved so much and all that. I have got so much money. But then, we do get pressure from other people. And how do we, keep calm and deal with them?
Especially in workplace, in families, there are different opinions. So try to reduce the association as much as possible. Stay away from them as much as possible.
Then they say he's not social.
That's okay. Let them say whatever they want. Let them be social and enjoy. No, it's not our concern. As much as possible, stay away. But sometimes not possible. They are your family members, your co-workers, you have to work with them. In that case, practice what Sri Krishna says in 12:15.
Okay.
Chapter 12, sloka number 15. There, Sri Krishna says, Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayaha, harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi, mukto yas sacha me priyaha. Two things we have to do, devotees. One thing is, we should not do anything to disturb other people. We should not say, you should pray to God every day. Look at me, I'm praying to God, I'm studying Gita, I'm studying Gospel. What you want to do itself? That's not our business. We are not there to teach anybody. There is a God who takes care of their life. We should not do anything to upset them or change their mind. God leads them, their life. Second thing we have to do, no dijate chayaha, whatever other people do, whether family members or co-workers or friends or whatever they do or say, by that I should not be affected or disturbed. Let them say whatever they would do, whatever they are expressing their views, their preferences, that's okay. You simply tell them you do whatever you like and this is my view. And just don't have to give elaborate explanation. Okay. Don't explain you're doing Vedanta, Sri Ramakrishna, Gita, all those things. You try to tell them it won't work. They are not interested. Simply say quick answer. If that pleases you, watching movie or entertainment or watching football, you do. It's your wish. You do whatever you like, and it's my preference. Just don't continue. Just don't explain. Try to explain too much.
Yeah, then slowly what happens, the friend circle changes.
That's why it has to change. That is good.
Correct.
Now, many people who come here to Vedanta Society, their friend circle has changed.
Yeah.
Several people have told me the earlier association, they used to go every Saturday evening for parties. All that has changed. They come here every Saturday morning to do Karma Yoga. Today, so many people came, they are playing cricket right now. They are enjoying here. It's not, Vedanta is not morose. It is so much joy is there. Children, everybody has come today and they had breakfast and today and they had lunch here. Now they're playing cricket outside, whether it's not so bad.
Yeah,
so
Swami
that kind of enjoyment, happiness. They're all children of the Holy Mother, enjoying together. Yeah. We like it that way. This Holy Mother's place, whoever comes here, is her child. We treat everybody, try to treat everybody with love. Yes, so association changes. It has to change.
So association changes.
Yeah, it has to. It's good if it changes.
Yeah, I'm glad that our center is open now, and Swamiji Atmagananandaji has come. And today we had a very nice talk about 20-25 people came.
Very nice.
It's a small center, but anyway, it is good.
Very nice. All right. All of you stay well. Take care. Namaskar. Devashish ji has a question.
Yes, Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji. You brought up this profound question, why we are here. And then, like, who am I? And so what is your understanding of these two things in a very short way, or
why we are here?
Yes.
Okay. Vedantic answer is straightforward. Tattvamasi, you are that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. You are not the body mind. Only Brahman remains. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, world is not even in existence. In reality, only there for a short time, changes, Brahman, and we are all that. All everything is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. That is Vedantic position. Who am I? But if you cannot do that, it is very difficult to do that work, having so much body consciousness from birth. So we can say, as Sri Ramakrishna says, let I be there. Let me think I'm the body and the mind. I can't give it up so easily. Let me be there, but make it ripe ego. I mean, I'm here, but I'm a servant of God, Dasa, I'm a child of God, and God is my father, mother. I'm a servant, devotee of God, servant of God. Like this, we can keep the I. That way, I is still there, but it is safer, leads us to further spiritual progress. That is who am I. In simpler terms, why we are here, the why question has no answer really. But one answer that reasonably acceptable is we are here because of our past karma. Something we did in the past, not one life, several lifetimes. We have accumulated impressions, samskaras, by doing good and bad things. Those samskaras have to be worked out, so we need another body birth. We have taken birth to work out our samskaras. Samskaras may be good and bad. Good things are there, bad things are there. Also, we have desires. We want to enjoy this world, so all that. Nothing comes to us except as we have expressed a desire for that one. Family, house, children, job, body, everything good and bad, everything comes only as we have paved the way for it ourselves. That's why we are here. The second reason why we are here is, as Sri Ramakrishna says, human birth has been given to us as the most precious gift so that we can realize God in this life. That's why we are here, to realize our true nature, to know God. That's the reason why we are here as human beings is to know God. No, as no other being, we can realize God. If you are in an animal or a plant or a Gandharva, we can't realize God. You have to be a human being. Only from human platform, we can realize God. That's why human birth is given to us as a very special gift by God. That's the reason why we are here as human beings. This human personality is the best available tool, instrument to know God. That's why it has been given to us. Manushyatam, mumukshitvam. So we have to use this opportunity, this life. Every moment is precious. We don't know how many moments are left. It's diminishing constantly. The clock is ticking away. Especially for older people, very not much time is left. We don't know when the moment comes. So we have to use every moment, precious moment, in thinking about God, praying to God, to pick His name. That's why we are here, to realize God.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Swamiji,
I
have a question. Actually, I have a learning question for me. Madhvacharya's Dvaitvad, and it's also called Brahma Sampradaya.
Madhvacharyas?
Madhvacharya's. Madhvacharya's has Dvaitvad, is known as Dvaitvad, and also it's called Brahma Sampradaya. Vallabhacharya has Suddha Dvaitvad.
Suddha Dvaitvad.
Yeah, and it's also called Rudra Sampradaya.
Oh.
Now, Nimbakacharya has Dvaita Dvaitvad, and he also called Hans Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has Iswar Purivad, and it's also called Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya.
Wow.
Now,
the
two most important, I don't have it, which is Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Dvaitvad, but I don't have what Sampradaya he has.
What's the other one?
Ramanujacharya.
Oh.
Now, I can't find anywhere. So we know that Ramanujacharya is known as Vishishta Dvaitvad, but I have no information what sampradaya he has.
Our sampradaya?
Similarly, yeah, sorry. So
You mean our
similarly,
Ramakrishna sampradaya?
no, Ramanujacharya's.
Ramanuja, sorry. Okay, I'll tell you where to find it.
Okay, okay.
There is a very nice book
Okay.
by Swami Tapasyananda.
Tapasyananda.
Tapasyananda Swami, he was a great sadhu, disciple of the Holy Mother.
Yeah.
He was originally from Kerala, great scholar, devotee, bhakta. He was head of the Chennai ashrama, Swami Krishna Bhatt in Chennai. He has written several books, translated the Bhagavatam and several books. Yes, one book he has written is Bhakti Schools of Vedanta.
Bhakti school.
Bhakti Schools of Vedanta. That's the title of the book.
Yeah.
In that book, he has discussed all the sampradayas you mentioned and some more also. Nimbarka, Vallabhacharya, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya.
Right.
All of those various sampradayas you mentioned, they're all there in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
That book will give you the answer.
Yeah, yeah. Because the same thing, Advaitavad, which is known as Sankaracharya's or Kairula Advaitavad, I don't have any sampradaya for this also. So this book will help me then.
I think it should. Sankara
Okay.
also.
Okay. All right.
Otherwise, there's another book called On the Life of Shankar, Life and Teachings of Shankaracharya. I don't remember the author's name. I can give you by later.
Yeah,
That
okay.
also is Life and Teachings of Shankaracharya.
Yeah.
Many books are there like that one.
Oh, I see. Because about 3 weeks ago, I've been to the ashram here in Chicago, and I thought I can find the information from Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play.
Yes, Chaitananda's book, wonderful book.
Right, it's translated by Chaitanandaji. So I bought this book 3 weeks ago.
Ramakrishna, the great master, written by Swami
Saradananda.
Yeah, Saradananda.
Right.
And then he translated it to English and Chaitanandaji translated it to modern English.
Right. Okay. So for this information, then Bhakti School of Vedanta by Tapasyananda.
Bhakti schools of Vedanta.
Schools of Vedanta. Okay.
Bhakti schools of Vedanta.
Right. So
there's
thank
also
you very
a
much.
Chicago ashrama.
Yeah. Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, one thing is too much concerned about this various sampradayas, what Vallabhacharya said, what others, Nimbarka said, is good to some extent, but too much of it is not necessary, not helpful. Sri Ramakrishna says, you have come to this mango orchard to eat and enjoy mangoes. Just eat and enjoy mango means pure devotion, get it?
Right.
Instead of that, if you keep on counting all the how many trees are there, how many branches, how many leaves, it is interesting, but not that much useful.
Correct.
Hold on to one sampradaya and follow it and reach the goal.
Oh no, I'm not going to follow the sampradaya, Swamiji. I just wanted to know for the information only.
Okay. Yeah, so many books are there. Tapasyananda's book is very good.
Yes.
Very good. Okay.
Thank
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right. If not, we'll see you next week. And all of you stay well. Margaret, good to see you.